Alright, guys, now we're back into the hardcore stuff. Another fight, man. Another great fight coming up in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, happening between Artur Beterbiev and Dmitri Bivol for the Undisputed Light Heavyweight Championship of the world. And I don't know how long it's been since we had an undisputed champion at light heavyweight. There's been instances where we were close, but negotiations just never transpired, or a lot of stuff didn't happen in between that conspired them to, motivate them at least to make the fight happen. We've had Adonis Stevenson versus Sergey Kovalev on the table, but that shit got canceled out right there. Well, not canceled, but that shit got cut out from the picture for different reasons. So, everybody has their own reasons. I remember a long time ago, there used to be some boxing fans fighting for both of these guys, you know what I mean, on the internet, arguing about who's at fault is it. But the point is, the fight didn't happen. And another fight that didn't happen was Andre Ward versus Adonis Stevenson. Another finger pointing fight where everybody's trying to blame who, and the fight didn't happen either. And now we're getting the fight for the undisputed light heavyweight championship of the world. And took a long time to make, man. I don't know what the situation was with this whole fight. And I would say it was mostly because of the WBC. Obviously, the money was put up because it's Saudi Arabia, man. They've been putting on a lot of great events as of recently, and I 100% support that. But I would say, man, the whole time for this fight in particular that was taking long was because of the WBC. Because the WBC didn't want to recognize Dmitri Bivol as one of their champions, or any Russian fighters, you know what I mean? And I don't know what that situation is going on with them, but either ways, man, money talks, and if you put up enough money, then you could convince some of these greedy bastards at the WBC, these parasites. Yeah, I call them parasites, man, because of what they've been doing in boxing, and I've been speaking on that for a long time. But either ways, man, we got the fight already, and this is a good fight right here. Artur Beterbiev versus Dmitri Bivol. I've heard a lot of conflicting thoughts about this fight. A lot of pundits that I respect are picking Artur Beterbiev because they think that most of them think that the power is too much, or the physicality, and Dmitri Bivol is just gonna wane out in the later rounds or mid rounds. It might be too much for him to handle. That's what they think. Some other pundits, another group that I respect, actually think that Bivol is gonna outpoint and outbox Artur Beterbiev. They're not really big believers on Artur Beterbiev's skill set, man. His footwork, they aren't really fond of his footwork either, and how he is very robotic in some ways. But I could see like both arguments from both sides. But I think Dmitri Bivol is a lot. Well, he is younger, obviously, by like 5 years, I would say. And Artur Beterbiev is getting up there in age, man. We've been seeing a lot of these fighters in their late 30s starting to kind of digress, man, or digress a lot, especially by the time they hit 40. I mean, obviously, we saw what happened with Zhang and the Joseph Parker fight, man. And obviously, we saw what happened with Golovkin against Canelo. He aged. Even in the fight before that, before Canelo. And speaking of Canelo, man, like Dmitri Bivol, ever since he beat Canelo, he's been on this, well, I wouldn't say a tear, but he's definitely a lot more confident of a fighter compared to in his early career, where he was having a lot of trouble getting some of these fights and some of the performances. And now he fights almost like he has a chip on his shoulder, even though like he's already in his mid 30s. Still, man, like I think this is gonna be bigger motivation going into the Beterbiev fight, and I think Beterbiev is definitely one of the strongest fighters in the sport of boxing. just all around, his athleticism. Um, and when I say athleticism, I don't mean like moving around the ring or using any type of like Roy Jones reflexes or anything like that. No, I'm talking about his overall uh, foundation and constitution, of how strong he is. I mean, this guy was swinging around a barbell like Donatello, and he's over here doing all types of interesting exercises. It almost kind of looked like when Lomachenko or Alexander Usyk are doing these different type of scientific exercises. Uh, it's interesting, man. Like how the Eastern Europeans train over there compared to like some of the other training methods that are used like traditionally. Uh, they tend to take a different route scientifically. And Dmitri Bivol, I've seen him train as well. And he doesn't really train as much with like ballistic weight training as Artur Beterbiev. Although he does train a lot more for functionality, timing. And I still remember like there was this one segment of his training where he was training outside and punching at a leaf, uh, that type of stuff, Um, I know that he definitely looked up to Jackie Chan as a kid, based on what he told everybody else. And that's interesting because Jackie Chan has some very interesting training methods, so got to take that into consideration. And like when it comes to the martial artists, the martial artists that practice kung fu, they focus more so on the spirituality aspect of it. And there's some concepts that I could see in Bivol's style. A lot of people mention that when he puts his fighting style together, it almost looks like he's doing a karate stance, And to be honest, that's just Bivol going into his flow, you know what I mean? Um, Feeling a lot more nimble and at ease with his body, so that way he could let his punches go a lot more easier and they flow a lot more naturally. I don't know, that's kind of hard to explain in this video. I would probably have to do a whole different segment for styles and the styles of martial arts and all that. But either ways, let me know what y'all think about this fight. Who do y'all got winning this fight? Or are you going to save that for fight week? Because I'm going to save my prediction for fight week. I'm not going to say it in this video. But either ways, I'm just letting y'all know that I love the fight a lot. And I've been wanting to see this fight for years. So let me know in the comment section what you think about it. And I'm out. Peace.